folks? How you doing? This is Miguel from Embargo Man. Banned from talking trash. All right. What? I mean, banned from social media for talking trash. I mean, what would the president of the United States has been banned from Facebook, banned from Instagram, banned from Twitter. All right. So it is what it is. When the right nuts has came to attack the White House, how in the world he's gonna say crap in social media? He's gonna talk trash. All of a sudden, this would be what is left over about him. What is left over of the president? What is left over of Trump? His last days, his final moment in the 19th and the 20th. Let's see what it is. You only have 1 week. Anything could settle over 1 week, right? So this is one thing that I'm glad that he got banned from social media. He got banned from social media because every time he want to talk trash, he can't say jack. Just put an example. Just put an example of what if a Boeing 737 Max crashes? They suspend a person, a worker, the guy who is like an engineer who got fired from Boeing gets the death penalty for a Boeing 737 Max design flaws. And yeah, and the guy who went for arrested for design flaws and went and get a death penalty end up to be black. Right? If that guy end up to be black, like he is arrested for design flaws because the cause of death of the 737 Max, gets arrested and gets the death penalty, then Trump would say he did what is right, whatever it is. He cannot say that. He cannot say that kind of crap. He cannot say that kind of stuff, right? So where is the trash talk? What if another company, just put an example of what it is? They call it Air Max. Yes. And then Air Max ended up to be some ex former Boeing employers, black employers, that they don't want to be in danger of getting caught and go to capital punishment. Just copy the design of Boeing planes, even copy a design of the Boeing 737 Max, and then they call it the new company Air Max. Air Max being black owned, that's just an example. And then Trump said Air Max is a company that makes flying coffins because the owner of Air Max is black. Just because Air Max is a black owned company, Donald Trump called it, that company's not trustworthy. They make flying coffins. Then he cannot say that shit in Twitter. He got suspended. No, he got banned. I mean, definitely banned on Twitter. He got banned on Facebook. He then can't say jack on Facebook. He got banned from Instagram. That is just an example of saying that he cannot say jack. He cannot say that Air Max, a new company that is owned by a black person, makes flying death traps or flying coffins compared to Boeing and whatsoever. And he says, okay, Boeing doing the best thing they can to prevent the situation by having a bunch of security guards, busting caps, using machine guns, shooting at BLM members because they fired a black worker, and they put the black worker or who is a designer on death penalty for the design flaws of the Boeing 737 Max. Well, he cannot say that. He cannot say crap, even though he might just give the CEO of Boeing the Medal of Freedom for doing the best thing to handle the situation. Getting machine guns and killing all the left nuts because they fire a black worker and send the black worker to death penalty for a 737 Max design flaw, right? Oh wait, that is okay to do it. This is not. This sometimes it's necessary, but it's just going to the extreme. Everybody has went to the extreme because of that, because of the nuts. They didn't do it with the right nuts, but they just do it with the left nuts. All right, want to go in there, go to the extreme. That's it. Turn this place into a war zone. It's okay. Let the right nuts do whatever they do. Well, don't do that. Not okay, right? So, I mean, this is just going to them double standards of things going on. I mean, the thing is, you ban somebody. I think until things get fixed up. I mean, this is one thing to worry about. If they really did it with the main right nut, I mean, this is to get ready to know. Don't just believe in all the BS from the left and right. Everybody has made errors. Everybody screw up. I mean, don't say that just this certain group of people made the design flaws, or this certain group of people did this or did that, whatever. Why? Because we need to be centrally focused, being left or right, not to blame or whatever. Don't go on the side of the Chinese folks, or side of the Japanese folks, or side of the white folks, or side of the black folks, or whatever. Just focus and be in the center of the road. Don't just go to be with the right nuts, or don't just go be with the left nuts. All right, this is kind of ridiculous. It's then left or right, whatever it is. Like, it's not just in the United States of America, but all over the world. You have their bunch of left nuts and right nuts and here and there and whatever. And this is what it is. What happened is we're living in really tough times that sooner or later they just decide that the best option to solve problems is by using nuclear weapons. I mean, the best option to solve problems is by using nuclear weapons is what some of these people are giving the mind of to. Okay, the best option, drop nukes. That thing has been done before. All right, so what if you go back to the 1940s and then somebody in the US with people of Japanese descent, Japanese Americans, holding sign Japanese lives matter? Well, go to 1945, yelling at, then this is where we're going in today's times. In today's times, they are doing a call to say, let's urge some politicians to use nuclear weapons as the final option, as the best option for certain wars. Yep, I mean, I am against that crap, but then some people would say, let's allow it, let's do it. Now is the right time. Want to solve problems? Use nukes. I mean, and this is what happened, and this is what is going to be for a calm down. What I have done is a calm to the storm. I mean, you calming the storm, and you calming, it's like the year. What have made to this is you guys are the ones that you have turned the regime of North Korea into the Boy Scouts. Why? By just sending one certain group of people to become laboratory rats for nuclear weapons testings in the United States, and then when there's Boko Haram jihad is going on, and then there's a country where everybody's black, the only last resort is to drop a nuclear weapon. That's what you have turning. But after all, going in the middle or going into this means that stopping nuclear weapons. I know that black lives does matter, not just to exclude everybody else's lives, but that's just going back to the 1940s, and you see a bunch of people holding signs that says Japanese lives matter. It's the same thing, but then after all, history repeats itself, right? History repeats itself. Some of you become lab rats for nuclear weapons testing, and then they just go to see jihadists in Africa, and their best option is to drop an atomic bomb, and that's it. That's what happened, and that's what's the final answer are you giving them to be? It's okay, drop a nuclear weapon, that's it, drop a nuclear weapon, that's the final answer. So that is one thing that you just saying through this. I mean, it's like I have seen even a video that you have the president cheering up for the right nuts, vandalizing the Washington D.C., the Capitol, and what you got is a bunch of losers and all these ass kissers cheering up, protesting, vandalizing the White House. And what they have done, the right nuts has done a bunch of crazy stuff. Yeah, and the right nuts may not just saying, okay, let's just do it. But then the left nuts are encouraging for the right nuts to use nuclear weapons. So this is kind of incident with all these things, right? I have just stopped and I voted to prevent nuclear warfare, and I gotta tell you who I voted for, but that's just keeping my presidential votes secrets to myself. But what the left nuts are encouraging the right nuts to say, hey man, let's launch an atomic bomb. Let's use these people for nuclear weapons testing. Let's use them as lab rats for nuclear weapons test, right? So some of you are wanting to become lab rats. That's okay, but then you encourage somebody. Okay, there is a jihadist in Africa. Let's launch an atomic bomb. The final answer. That's it. That's what you encourage them, right? So listen up and listen up together, right? Do not judge anybody or any national or whoever about doing their wrongdoings. We all have our own skeletons in the closet. So if you all have your own skeletons in the closet, look at the president. He suffered the consequences. He suffered the consequences. He have his own consequences. He got banned from social media. What's gonna be the biggest relief? The biggest relief is that he's not gonna say about an airplane company just because they send a man to death penalty, and then they just come and arm security guards, blasting their machine guns for killing all the left nuts, and say, okay, that company did what is the best thing to do, did the right thing to do what is best to prevent the situation, right? Or ever says that a black owned airplane company competing with Boeing to say it's a company that made flying coffins, right? So that's just one part of it. We're not facing that, but that was just the situation. Like like Boeing is letting Japanese eat their lunch and put it that way in all terms, right? So that would be the conclusion of a world leader from the largest economy in the world being banned from social media and to stop talking trash in social media. And then that's just this kind of relief. So because why people are just going to all these extremes, you know 25th Amendment or something like that. Okay, they're just gonna respond with something. Sometimes responding with the Second Amendment, and responding with the Second Amendment means that they have to do what is best. Respond with the Second Amendment. Show up their guns and blast all the left nuts. How they cannot do it with the right nuts. So what social media should do is just not just ban the right nuts, but ban left nuts also, and have people centering, but not just confusing or not seeing. Because if we are all created equal and we are united, that's just being in the center. But you just said, okay, these certain group of people are more important than the other certain group of people. Then that means that's just isolating people out. You're just isolating one group of people in favoring of another group of people. That's not right. That crap is not right. We have done with this crap already. We have done with this BS. All right. So what it is to stick together, being center field. Like it or not, being center field. That means everybody's equal. Everybody's created equal, and that's what it says, and that's what what the Constitution has said. Everybody's created equal. It's not just having them, not everybody have it in practice, but equality needs to be practiced. We are all equal, and we all need to be treated as equal. Why? Because we are all human beings. That's why. You cannot say, all right, it's the left nuts, and the left nuts says these certain group of people are very special, and the other group of people are evil. Or the right nut says that certain group of people are very special, and that other group of people are evil. That is just called discrimination. That is called, in one other fact, racial discrimination on both sides. And then you have class discrimination and all sorts of discrimination, right? And then if you want to end discrimination, just think that everybody is an equal, that everybody matters, and that we are equal in life from everybody is an equal, that we are all created equal. That's it. That's the end of the story. So it's not that somebody gets banned from social media. All right, so I'm glad that he got banned from social media for talking trash, but then we are all happy that he got banned for talking trash, because he ain't gonna say jack. He ain't gonna say jack, because when people need to go to the extremes, they need to go to the extremes. That's just that. Instead of having recreated a safer world, we put a world into a more larger dangers than before. This is like worse than 1945. Why? Because we are encouraging people to use nuclear weapons again. That's what's happened, all right? That is what's going on in this world. So, all it is, let's all live in peace. Let's all get along, black, white, Japanese, Chinese, or whatever. And let's all say we are equal, we are all human beings. We crap the same color, we bleed the same color, we pee the same color. That's it. That's all you need to have to do. That's it. I mean, some people are very, some people are very resistant to. They have this kind of, nutrient that's just the Hindus and Afro descendant people do have. But then you have to say, guess what? If we all created equal, let's all live in peace together, right? That's it. So hit the bell button. There's more for more notifications. Please subscribe to the Embargo Man channel and see you on the next video. All right. Goodbye and take care of yourselves.